Hello everyone and welcome back. Today I'm here with Brooke Shaden and she's a photographer from LA. Thank you so much for making the drive out here today.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Great. So she brought some of her photographs here with us today, and some of them from your art exhibit that opened last weekend.
Yep.
Great.
3 of them are from there. So.
Great. So can you tell me a little bit about how you got into photography before we jump into the pictures?
Sure. I've always been interested in storytelling. It started with writing and then moved on from there to filmmaking, and I found that filmmaking took a little bit too long for my taste, and so I wanted to stick with the visual storytelling and moved on to photography when I graduated from film school.
Great. And so you've only been doing this for about a year or two?
A year, yeah, a little bit over a year.
It's amazing. Your art looks very accomplished and beautiful.
Thank you.
So great. Can you tell me about this first piece we have here?
Sure. This piece is the opener for my exhibition. I created it back in August, and when I approached the gallery, this is the piece that they liked, and so I created the whole series around it. This piece is a clone shot. It's a self-portrait of myself, and so I'm cloned in there 7 times. And it really kind of encapsulated this idea of turning my photographs into paintings. And so that's how the whole series started.
Great, it's gorgeous. And so there is kind of a theme with your some of your photographs, which is ballerina.
Yeah. Yes.
Can you describe that to
Absolutely.
me?
In my mind, the ballerina is kind of the idea of the perfect woman. And so I kind of wanted to take that idea and deconstruct it in all of these photographs that I did for the gallery series. And so they're all kind of images of these women who are trying to be graceful, and yet they're almost fallen from grace and broken in a way.
Great. Great. So this photograph, it almost looks like, I told you earlier, like a painting.
Yeah.
So how do you work with your photos and make them, unique in your own?
It's all Photoshop. I do everything in a square format. It's not always a square crop. I often build the frame out to make the image as large as I can. And I use a lot of texture in order to give it that kind of painting feel. I want everything to look old and timeless.
Yes, gorgeous. Okay.
Thank you.
Let's move to the next photo you have here.
And this is an example of my underwater work that I wanted to bring along as part of the gallery series. And really, this is one of my favorite pieces from the entire show because of the fragility of it. It really shows this ballerina in this pose just sort of floating there, not even attempting anything anymore, almost like she's given up what she was trying to do.
Is this a self-portrait as well?
This is not. This is a model. I found it too hard to shoot myself underwater. So
I bet that would be kind of difficult.
Yeah, so I went with a model on that one. This is Natalie Vindovich, and she was my underwater model for that.
That's gorgeous.
Thank you.
Very gorgeous. Okay. Now our third piece here, this was also from the exhibit.
Yes, this is the last one that I brought from the exhibit. This is the show closer in a way. And this is kind of reminiscent of my other things because I sort of cut off the head of the model in this one with her pose, and it's something that I really like to explore, the faceless, nameless model, because I like my pieces to be able to reach a larger audience, and I want everyone to be able to feel like that could be themselves in the photo rather than seeing a model.
Great. And so what inspired, how did you come up with the ballerina theme for your exhibit?
Well, I saw a painting once, and I wish I could remember the name of it. I can't. But I came across a painting of these male ballerinas, and there were I think 7 of them in the frame, and they were kind of jumping out of the frame, and it was that piece that really inspired the whole series, this idea that these ballerinas are looking graceful, and yet there's really this deep tension within them. And so I wanted to play with that in the whole series. Wonderful.
Okay, great. And is there a main goal when you go out and take photographs or, have a theme, or what's your main goal?
Well, aesthetically, it's to make them look like painting. I really want to blur that line. I have this idea in my head that painting looks so much more timeless than anything else. And so conceptually, really my main goal is to question what it means to be alive. I really want people to look at these photographs and say, obviously this person is struggling. Are they even alive?
Great. Very good. Okay, so this is, as you described the next one of your favorites.
It is. This is one of my favorite pieces. It marked a time when I really felt that I had mastered that painterly feel that I'm trying to capture in my images. And it also goes along with this fairy tale theme, this whole idea of deconstructing the fairy tale and showing a darker side to the fairy tale.
Yeah, I love how you do that. You kind of take a twist on our
Exactly.
on our everyday fairy tale
Yeah.
and make it your own and unique. That's gorgeous. Where was this taken?
In Malibu, Malibu Creek State Park. I had my poor model get covered in mud and get in the little creek, and so we shot it over there.
Great. Okay. And the fifth one?
This one is again something that I showed with the ballerina picture. I like to hide the face. I like to turn the female form into something unrecognizable. In this case, I wanted to mimic the form of the apple and really show the connection between the ways in which females are stereotyped, the ways in which people can be seen as as less than human, really.
Wonderful. It's gorgeous. And this is a self-portrait.
It is. This is one of my self-portraits. When I do self-portraits, I often especially like to not show my face, because for me, self-portraiture is really not self-reflexive. It's something that does not reflect my own life in any way. I like to place myself in the frame because I have full control over it, but really this is just my way of shooting and having full control over everything.
Wonderful. It's gorgeous.
Thank you.
Okay, and our last one today, sadly.
Yes. This is a piece titled A Story in Older Terms. This was really a movement for me in moving away from the dark and twisted stories that I like to tell in my photos, and it sort of represents a simpler story to me, something that a lot of people can relate to, something that perhaps is from any time. So it's really just a timeless piece to me.
Was there a message you're trying to get across with this photo?
Absolutely, and it's the idea that this poor woman has been walking, perhaps, for days, and she's trying to carry this fruit, and then all of a sudden she just drops it, and she notices this onlooker, which really is the camera looking back at her. And it's sort of her gazing into her own life and saying, what am I doing here? So that's the idea of that one.
Wonderful. So your exhibit, can you tell me where it's located?
San Pedro at Flash Alley Art Studio, and it runs until March 6th.
Can you throw out your contact information for viewers?
Yes,
so they can,
yes, it is.
Oh, and also you can buy photographs just so everyone knows from you. Okay.
www.shadenproductions.com.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure meeting you.
Thank you.
And seeing all your
You
photos.
too.
Okay, and we're going to have more for everyone after the break.